guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Makes Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and to today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so I know this is a couple of weeks late. I do apologise, obviously with the sickness and everything, I've only just now got around to doing it. So I'm finally giving you guys my top 10 best and top 10 worst movies of 2022. As you can tell by the title, I am doing these as two separate videos. So I'm going to start with the worst, end with the best. So I just want to put it out there, this is my opinion and this is of the movies that I got to see. There was a lot of films last year that I didn't get a chance to watch. So for example, things like in my top 10 best list, you won't see things like Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's something I haven't got around to watching yet. So this is as of when I watched the movies at the time. So with the top 10 worst, I hate saying worst, but that's how you have to title these things. These are my least favourite, except there was one movie that I really did not like, which is obviously number one. So bearing in mind, these weren't very good films in my eyes. I got a little bit of enjoyment from them. So it's more like least favourite movies of 2022. I probably would watch them again, but it won't be till further in the future or things like that. So I'm just going to move over to the side so I can then put the posters there. So yeah, so let's get into my top 10 worst movies of 2022. Okay, so I'm not going to lie, I did struggle with this list, but I finally feel with how it is laid out and everything, I've got it right. For me anyway. Okay, so at number 10, it is Cheaper by the Dozen. Now, I did get a little bit of enjoyment out of this. Like I said, it's mainly just the first one I hated. But for me, it just didn't feel like the Steve Martin one. You know, the Steve Martin one, I got quite a lot of enjoyment out of it. And to be honest, I watched this movie once when it came out, and then I haven't watched it since. I can barely remember what happens in it. And when a film does that for me, I'm just like, are you a good movie? Are you a bad movie? So that's why it's at 10, because it's like one of those things where it's like I enjoyed it, but also at the same time, if I had to sort out a top 10 list, this is what it'd have to be. Okay, and at number 9, I have They, Them. So I thought this was going to be a full-out horror, because obviously it's Blumhouse, but it was decent. I definitely got Friday the 13th vibes. I get what they were doing with the plot. I enjoyed the characters. However, it just felt slow. I felt like it could have been a bit more faster paced. I know they were trying to establish the movie, but it felt like they were trying to establish it the whole entire time. In fact, I think the only part I really enjoyed was sort of like the last half hour, 40 minutes tops. And also there's a dog involved in this, and whenever there's a dog involved in horror, I get very concerned. So, but no, I probably will watch this again, because I feel like I just need to give it a second watch. But for a first time watch, it weren't too bad, but I have seen better. Okay, and at number 8, we have Marmaduke. Yeah, this one was a bit of an odd one. I felt it was very weird and outlandish, and I would say it's definitely made more for kids than sort of like all around kind of thing. I got a couple of chuckles out of it, but it weren't anything massive. And in all fairness, I think I actually prefer the live action Marmaduke that we got. I know, weird. But for an animated film, it weren't too bad, just it wouldn't make my top 10 best, top 10, 20, anything like that. Okay, and at number 7, we have Pinocchio, but this is the Disney live action one. So I haven't got round to seeing the one by the guy that directed Hellboy. I can't pronounce his name, apologies, so that's why I'm saying the guy directed Hellboy. Yeah, this was it. What these films did is that they gave me a couple of chuckles, but they weren't the best. I just had trouble getting into Pinocchio, any of the Pinocchios, to be honest. From Disney anyway. I don't know what else really to say about it. It's just, I like what they tried to do, and so I got some enjoyment out of it. But for me, it's not the worst live action film, I don't think, remake wise. but it's certainly, I don't know if I'd ever watch this again, or if I did, it would probably just be during a marathon of this franchise. But for a one-time watch, I think it's okay if you just want to see what they did. Okay, and at number 6, we have the Bob's Burgers movie. Now, I had never watched a TV show, but one of my goals for last year, which I kind of half did, kind of half didn't, was actually try and watch as many movie releases as possible. And so I thought, why not watch this? You know, it could be fun. I found it okay. Maybe if I'd watched the TV show and understood the humour a bit more, then maybe I might have enjoyed it. But for me, it's just, I don't know what it was. I think it just annoyed me a little bit in places. But say it's in number 6, so it's not too bad, but at the same time, meh. Okay, and at number 5, we have Windfall. Now, I watched this once, and I felt like it just dragged, and I just can't remember much what happened. I do like the actors in it, because I have seen them in other things that I enjoy. But for some reason, it's just, I don't know what it was, whether it's just it took so long getting to what it was getting to, or how it was laid out. I don't know, but something about this film, it just, I don't know. I think the last 5-10 minutes of it I enjoyed. Would I go back to watching this again? Potentially, because I would like to give it another go, because I know some people did quite enjoy this film. But for me, at least it's making my 5. It's not like the absolute worst, but still for me it was very meh. Okay, and at number 4 is Blonde. Now, when I say this is in my top 10 worst, it's not the worst film in the world. I get what they were trying to do, but at the same time, I think with how morbid the story is, how it played out and things like that, I just don't see myself ever watching this again. Or if I did, it wouldn't be very much into the future, because I'm currently working on a Netflix movie ranking list. So I will have to watch this again in the future, but I think I'll try and push it to be the very last film, because honestly, at this moment in time, I really don't want to get back to it. I think it's just how it was. I like the black and white theme. I like that. But for me, it's just, I felt bad for watching it. I think the acting was great. I think they did really well with that. But it's just, I just don't see myself going back there all that often. It's not like one of those ones I'd go back to like multiple times. I'll probably give it one more watch just because of the Netflix list, and then that'll be it. No more. Okay, and then we're into the top 3. Now, the third one is one I'll actually watch again, because I want to do a ranking of the franchise, but also it's my least favourite. Ice Age, The Adventures of Buckwild. I'm so gutted this film didn't do so well, because Buck is one of my favourite characters from Ice Age, and I thought, yay, he's getting a standalone film, this is going to be fun. Yeah, no. The main actors for Manny, Sid, Diego, all that lot didn't come back. In fact, the only person that did come back was Simon Pegg. I did like Buckwild. The plot felt very meh. Like it felt like it was a more of a made-for-TV kind of film, which I'm gutted about. But I definitely will be watching this again, because, like I said, I would like to do an Ice Age ranking. Of course, we know what this one come at. But I will say I'm just very disappointed in this film, because I'm a massive fan of Ice Age, and I'm just really gutted that the one character that I did want to have his own film for got this. So I'm really gutted about that. Okay, and at number 2 is 13, the musical. Yes, there is a musical in this list that is in the least favourite. I know. I don't know what it was. It just annoyed me. It was, a couple of the songs were quite catchy, but the rest was sort of like, meh. And it kind of felt like Cats, in the sense of it was song after song after song after song after song, which, don't get me wrong, can be good sometimes, but for me, yeah. And like with Blonde, I'll probably watch this one more time, and then that's it, because this is obviously a Netflix film. But yeah, I just don't know how often I'd go back to that one. Okay, and my number 1. This is the film that was 2 hours long. and I kept counting down to when it would finish, and that is The Bubble. Yes, I am so gutted about this because I thought, looking at the premise, I thought, oh, this is going to be fun, you know. It's got actors in it that I know and love. It's about a film being made during the COVID period, sort of like, so I like the whole, it's set whilst trying to film a film, that's so good, isn't it? But unfortunately for me, this was just, it dragged. I did not enjoy this film at all. Unfortunately, I will have to watch this one more time just because, obviously, like I said, I'm now working on Netflix ranking. But that'll be it after that. I don't plan on ever watching that again. It's just, I'm gutted because it looked like it was going to have such a good premise. The trailer looked decent as well, and I was like, oh, this could be good, you know. And then I was severely disappointed. Oh, God. I just can't believe I wasted 2 hours on that film. 2 hours and a half, I think. I mean, I think it got like 1 or 2 chuckles out of me, but that was it. Like, I felt bad for laughing at it because I was just like, I kept looking at my phone going, is it finished? Is it finished? Is it finished? Okay, so that was my top 10 worst movies. There was only one that was really the worst of 2022. So, of course, the next video will be my top 10 best movies of 2022. Some might know what might be the best. Some might be surprised at what's not at number 1. But I will be filming and posting that tomorrow. Because I've got a film to watch that I need to review for today. So obviously I'm going to put the top 10 best to tomorrow. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your top 10 worst movies of 2022. Is it the same as mine? Is there anything you would move? Is there anything you would add to it? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!